What's going on? Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com, coming at you on a Wednesday night live, 7 p.m. Central. So happy to be here. Hello to those of you who are here live. Say hello in the chat room. Hello to those of you who are watching later on. I know a majority of you are. It's good to be here. And by the way, if you're watching this, and you don't join live and you watch afterwards, I understand for some people you are in a different time zone and it's difficult to do that. But really, please join me. There's a fun and encouraging intellectual group here that joins us every Wednesday and sometimes lately on these Mondays. So please, would love to say hello to you. Would love to hear from you. And of course, as you, if you're watching this not live, you don't see, but there is a phone number that's usually right in the title. It's also in the description that you can call in and I can answer your questions. So come here live. Would love to have you. What are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about why girls don't text you back after the first date. Why they maybe ghost. Maybe you text them, you don't hear from them, and it just kind of ends. Well, I got some answers for you. I've organized this in a great way for this to make sense for you. So we're going to be getting into some good stuff today, and you're going to understand exactly why it doesn't happen. But more importantly, what you're going to learn today is how do you make a first date awesome? How do you make it so when you're on the first date, you have a higher chance of seeing her on a second date? What are the things that really cause you to see her again on a second date? What are all those things? So we're going to be going over that today. And of course, as always, taking questions from the chat. If you do a super chat, I will definitely answer your question. If you want to call in, I'll let you know when the lines are open. We will do that as well. So what's up, Adam? What's up, William? Chris? Gershwin? What's up, Mike? Colby? How you guys doing? Everyone doing good today on a Wednesday? Cold here in Chicago. What are we doing? We're not going to get into small talk. We don't care about the weather. We're going to get into some good stuff. Before I get into that, what we need to talk about first is we need to talk about something that is really mind-blowingly helpful. Blowingly? Is that a word? It is today. Mind-blowingly helpful for guys who are trying to really solve this issue of getting better with women. Because I know that there are a lot of guys out there who struggle tremendously, where they come to the lives, they watch the YouTube videos, maybe they even have the book, the magnetic book. Maybe they listen to the podcasts. Did I already say that one? But still, something's missing. They need the accountability. So I want to talk about the accountability portion. What it means to be held accountable to do whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to be held accountable to accomplish a goal in fitness. Maybe you're trying to be held accountable to finish a project at school or at work. But then again, the accountability at work is if you don't do it, you'll get fired. Pretty good accountability. But what about the accountability? What about the accountability for dating? Well, where do you get held accountable with that? You do it when you go out and meet women and do approaches. That's where you get held accountable. So in coaching, which is what I do, is I help you be held accountable for going out and doing the approaches. Okay? That's what we work on. That's what we work on. And I make sure you go out and do those approaches. Oh boy, do I make sure. I have a whole system that makes sure that you do it. So if you need coaching, you want to be held accountable for your actions to make sure that you succeed, please go to coachedbytripp.com. The link is in the description. Apply today. Let me help you. Stop doing this on your own. Stop making it hard for yourself. Apply for coaching. Coachedbytripp.com, and we can work together on this issue. The issue of what? being able to actually push yourself, go out there, be held accountable to do the approaches, because a lot of guys won't do it on their own. Maybe they're scared, maybe they're lazy. Let me train you. Go to the URL, apply, we'll get into it. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Let's dive in. Let's get into some good stuff. So, girls not texting you back. You go on a date. Picture this. You go on a date. You think you had this great time. By the way, coaching clients say this to me all the time. We work on this. You end up going on the date. You think it goes really well. Conversation was awesome. I actually literally had a client say to me, like 2 days ago, he texted me, because you can text me when we do coaching, and he says, I don't get it. She wasn't interested. So we dive into it. Even though you think you had this great time. I've been on plenty of dates where I'm like, I don't get it. We had this amazing time. Why aren't they responsive? Or maybe they are responsive and they say, I just wasn't feeling it. What happened? What's the deal? So, well, let's make this pretty simple, okay? Let's talk about the first date, and let's talk about what the first date is really broken down to in terms of you being a success. Okay, so the first date, there are things that you can control, and then there are things that you can't control. Okay, so there are things that you can control and things that you can't control. So what does that mean? Well, that means that there are things that you can do on a first date that can make it be successful, and there are things that are just completely out of your control. There's nothing you could do. So let's break down those categories, and let's figure out what are the things you can control, what can't you control, and then what do you do with that? How do you make that something that can help you for a successful date? Really quickly, if you're here in the chat, okay, if you're here in the chat, what I want to hear from you is, have you ever been in this situation? Just say yes. If you went on a date, and whether you thought it went well or not well, maybe you thought it didn't go well. Either way, what I want you to do is tell me, say yes in the chat, if you've had a situation where she didn't text you back and you never heard from the person again. Just say yes. For women who are here too, also, you can let us know as well. Okay. So I know we're on a little bit of a delay here, so I wish it was just like, why can't this all just be instant? Oh, here we go. Here are some yeses. Chris is saying yes. Gershwin. Oh, Kobe. Wow. That happened recently. Happened to Becky. Valors, Robert, Hossein. Yeah, okay. Wow, the delay is not as bad as I thought. That's pretty good. Adam, it's happened to you. William. Okay. So it's happened to a lot of you guys. So what are these categories? Let's break it down. So there are things, like I said, you can control, things that you can't control. So let's start with the things that you can't control. This is really important. You know, a lot of PUAs have claimed things like, oh, you can attract, any girl if you know how to tap into it. And that's obviously not true, right? If you learn dating advice and you learn these skills, you can up the chances, but it's not going to be everyone. Why? Because there are things that are out of your control. So what are the things that are out of your control? Well, here's just an example. There's a few examples. One, sense of humor, right? Like maybe you went on the date and you two have completely different sense of humors. I've been on dates before where I'm making jokes, the girl's not laughing. And she's making jokes, I'm not laughing. I've been on dates before where the girl is overly sarcastic. To me, don't like that. That's a turnoff. That's just something personal, right? That's not funny to me when someone is literally sarcastic in almost everything they say. Not sexy. You can't control that, right? A lot of guys might think, oh, well, what if I just, figure out what her sense of humor is and then I can play to that? Well, now you're just being completely inauthentic, not genuine. And, what are you going to do? You're going to just go on dates with this girl, potentially even get into a relationship and fake your sense of humor? That sounds exhausting. That sounds absolutely exhausting, right? So that's just something that's out of your control. Some people have the same sense of humor. Boom, it clicks. It's luck, and that's fine. There is a little bit of luck involved in terms of the things that you can't control. Okay? What else? Values. So you guys might have different values. Maybe you have different religions, different political beliefs. Maybe you guys just value your time in a different way, right? One person likes to work a lot. Another person just kind of does work and wants to focus on their hobbies. Things that are just differences that don't really align. You can't control that. Again, we're talking about things you cannot control in a first date where maybe you guys didn't connect and this is the reason why you didn't hear back. Now, I just want to be clear here. We're not talking about ghosting. I know it sounds like why is a girl ghosting you? We're really just talking about why she isn't texting you back, why she isn't reaching out, why the first date just didn't work out. Again, 2 categories, things you can control on a first date, things you can't control, to know the difference between those two so you can have a successful first date. So things you can't control, like I said, sense of humor, values, politics, religious beliefs, how you spend your time. Just go to Google and type in list of values, right? Everyone kind of values different things in their life. And you might find those things out as you're going on a first date, realizing, boom, it's not a match, right? So what else? Well, there's also the idea of chemistry. Sometimes 2 people just don't click. And there's not really a specific reason. Chemistry, I can call it the X factor. There's just you ever been on a date before? Say yes in the chat. If you've been on a date before, and there's nothing inherently wrong with the person. In fact, you guys do have a similar sense of humor. Maybe your values do match up. You're even somewhat attracted to her. But something was just off. The conversation was just off. There wasn't a click. It just wasn't there. I've had that before. And sometimes when there isn't chemistry, but everything else is aligned, sometimes people will kind of follow through with that and say, well, there's all these other things about her that are great. And then there's no chemistry, and then it just kind of ends up fizzling out eventually. You kind of got to have that chemistry there, along with some of the other things. Okay? So we're getting some yeses. Divine, Colby, Valors, Jups. Where you've been on dates before and it just didn't click, just didn't work out. Nothing you can do about that. Here's something else that you can't control. It's just you meet a girl and you're just bored. Now again, you're bored. Some guys are they'll be bored on a date, but they're still willing to see the girl again. But you're acting bored because you just are bored. You can't really control it. And the girl just didn't feel that connection because she just is I don't know, the guy didn't even seem like he was having a good time. She doesn't end up seeing you again or wanting to see you again. Okay? William, you bring up a good point. We're talking about, I don't know where that came from, the context of that, about the one. But I personally don't believe in the one. It doesn't, on a logical level, it just doesn't make sense. Okay? In fact, in the magnetic book, I talk about that. I talk about the abundance mentality. And in the book, I go over why I believe the one doesn't really make sense. So So that's stuff that you can't control. This is my list of stuff that you cannot control on a date. So why you need to know that is because we're about to go over the things that you can control. And the things that you can control are the things that you can do to hopefully make a date as best as possible. Basically, you're optimizing it. You're making the date as best as possible for you presenting your best self, most attractive self, and it working out. Okay? So, things you can control. Here's a big one. And again, I want to be very clear here when I say this, is that I'm going to be telling you in this category things that you can control and things that you could do. However, you should understand that you're hoping also that the woman does the things also, right? So, of course, the things you can't control, like you'll let the date happen and you'll see if there's chemistry, yada, yada. But if the woman isn't interesting to you, and we'll go, I don't want to ruin it all, we'll tell you in just a second here, and doesn't follow through with some of the things that make her attractive, but you're doing those things, it's not going to work. There's no connection, right? So you got to understand that it's not all about you. I know I'm a dating coach for men, so I'm giving you guys the information. I'm giving you the information, but if she's not pulling her weight, then it's over, right? So, all right, let's get into it. Negativity. If you're inherently a negative person, you are pessimistic, you're on the date, you're just talking a lot about negative things like, oh, this sucks and this is what's wrong with the world, and girls, I don't know if you would say girls suck, but you could complain about women. That would not be a good idea. Just complaining about things in your life. Like, this is just negative energy is just going to be a disaster. It's going to be bad. Even if she's going negative, don't think that you need to jump on that train. You might think, oh, well, if she's going negative and she's talking about bad things and you agree with her and then it's just both people are just being negative, talking about stuff that's just not good. You got to understand that that's still not going to make her attracted to you, because she's going to walk away from that not like, oh, refreshed. She's going to think, oh, man, that was just like two people complaining. Subconsciously, she'll think that. Just won't have good energy, right? So, negativity. You can control that. Not being too negative. Not asking enough questions. Or basically, I like to say talking too much. So you're not asking enough questions. And you're just talking too much and it's all one-sided. If you're doing that, yeah, that's good. She's getting to know you. But she's going to feel like, Where was I on this date? I was just sitting here listening. I've been on dates like that where the girl won't stop talking, and I'm thinking, why is she even here? And the funny thing is, I've been on dates before where the girl talks nonstop. She ends up knowing absolutely nothing about me. I'm wanting to get out of there because this girl's just yapping away, and she still wants to see me again. I'm like, why? She doesn't even know anything about me. I just sat there and listened to her the whole time. You don't want to be that guy either. Women don't like that either. Very unattractive. So make sure you balance it out. Pretty self-explanatory, right? What else? Well, then there is, by the way, we will be opening up the lines just a little bit, not quite yet. So hold tight if you have started to call in. Okay? All right. So, what else? Not enjoying yourself. I talk about entertainment. I also talk about entertainment quite a bit in the magnetic book. Entertainment is one of the ways that you are going to be able to trigger attraction, self-amusement, having a good time when you're in an interaction. If you're not having a good time, she's not going to be having a good time. So, please, when you're on a date, I don't think I've never even heard this advice before. I might be one of the only ones to talk about this. Like, have a good time. I don't mean plan a fun date and do something that's fun. Yeah, you could do that. That's helpful, but have fun in the interaction. Like enjoy yourself. Like what would make you enjoy yourself when you're talking to somebody? What do you like to talk about? What do you want to learn about that person? What stories do you want to tell? What is fun for you? What's funny for you? What's funny to you? This is going to be the way to tap into who you are as an actual person, right? Like your personality and the whole being genuine thing. So try to bring some of those things out. Try to bring the entertainment. The entertainment, I mean in entertaining yourself, not entertaining her. These are things that you should be thinking about. Okay? So what else? What else can you control? We're talking about the list of things you can control on a date that make it so the woman wants to see you again. Here's one. Not going for the kiss. Okay? Not going for the kiss. If the date is going well, break, please. For your sake, for her sake, break the physical barrier. Go for the kiss. What you have to understand is that going for the kiss never, ever, ever is going to make a girl unattracted to you. She might back off on the kiss and not be ready for the kiss. If that's the case, then, she's just not ready yet, but she'll still want to see you again. Okay? She'll still want to see you again. You can't lose ever if you go for the kiss. So I highly suggest that you do it. Because if she likes you, she's going to kiss you back. Well, maybe. But like I said, it's not going to ruin your chances. Okay? So those are things you can control. What else can you control? Body language, just obvious things like, when your guys are sitting, don't be slumped over like this. Keep up your posture. Keep your eye contact good when you're talking to the girl. Simple things like that. So I wanted to throw that out there, okay? I like that people are giving some ideas. It sounds like you guys are giving ideas for first dates, which is good. Okay. What else? Yeah, those are the things. That's pretty much it. The biggest one there is really enjoying yourself, displaying your personality, having a good time. Okay, that is going to be really crucial. Someone gave a super chat. Thank you. How to make a girl notice you like them? You don't make a girl notice that you like them. You flirt with them. You ask them out. You show interest. That's how they know that you like them. I'm not sure what else to say after that. That's pretty much the answer to that question. How do you make a girl notice you like them? You don't do it subtly. A lot of guys are trying to be subtle with it because they don't want to get rejected. Thank you for the super chat. Hope that answers your question. Here's another one. This one is a tip from a friend of mine who I was talking today. He sometimes comes here on the chat. His name is Jonathan. A really good technique for listening to a woman, okay? And that shows that you're connecting with her is when you're talking to the woman, and this is really good for first dates, is ask a question. So you're going to ask a question, you're going to say, so what do you do for fun, for example? And she'll start talking about it. You ask a follow-up question based on what she's saying. If you just ask a question and listen, and then just kind of wait for her to ask you, this is like a really disconnected, boring conversation. Ask a follow-up question. And one good question is a follow-up question, which I've talked about on a video before. You say, what's that like? So she'll say what she does for a living, what she does for fun, or whatever. You say, what's that like? Shows you're interested. Hopefully you actually are interested. Shows you're really in the conversation. Makes for a good conversation. Makes it more interesting. So, does that help? Does that help, guys? If today's information has helped you Don't forget, coaching is available. Go to coachedbytripp.com. Apply today as soon as you can. I get a lot of applications, and I do read every single one. When you go to coachedbytripp.com, you apply. What happens after that is I read your application, and I reach out to you as soon as possible, either via email or text, and we can discuss if coaching is a good fit for you. Coaching entails us getting on the phone together and us helping come up with a plan, which I'm a master at. It's a plan for you to be able to go out there and have a successful dating life, an active dating life. I'll know exactly what to do depending on where you are in your dating life. Maybe a virgin, maybe never talked to a girl in your life, maybe on multiple dates but can't get past that first date. We help you with that. So apply. We'll get into it. Guys, everyone's saying that's helpful. Good. Hopefully you guys, this kind of knocked some things around in your brain. How much is coaching? We talk about that. I have various options. I don't want to get into that now. There's a lot of options. Let's just say that if you don't have a job, you're not going to be able to afford it. Plain and simple. But we can talk about that on our call after you apply. AC gave a super chat. Can we talk about flirting techniques on dates? Sure. Flirting techniques on dates. It's going to be the exact same flirting techniques that you would do if you just met the woman. So I actually, not to completely disregard your question, AC, but I have like 15 flirting videos. All can be applied. So teasing her a little bit, joking around, telling her in the beginning that she looks great tonight. That should be your one and only compliment of the night. Say, wow, you look amazing. That's good flirting. Showing interest and asking her questions is flirting inherently because that's showing interest. So it's interesting that you can use some of those flirting techniques, but what's interesting is that the whole date is one big kind of flirtatious, like on a macro level, it's inherently flirtatious because the context is a date. So everything you're doing and saying and the way you're looking at her, it's all flirty. It's like all coming off that way anyways. It's a lot easier on a date to connect with someone and spark attraction than it is when you first meet someone, because it's like you don't know this person at all. So it's like, wow, it's like this woman is really getting to know you. She's working off of nothing. But if you guys are on a date together, she has some idea about you, whether it's from online or you met her in an approach. So you're set up for success. And just do all the things that I talked about today in terms of the things that you can control. So hope that helps. Tripp, can you break down the 3-second rule? Adam, I know you've asked that before. There's nothing really to break down. It just means that when you see a woman within 3 seconds, you go over and approach her, and it helps you with approach anxiety. Guys, lines are open. 310-598-3384. Call in. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. Let's get some good questions tonight. I want to hear, some good questions. I want to hear what's going on. What's going on in your dating life? Where do you need help? Where can I assist you? Call in. The phone number is in the description. It's in the title. What's up? You're on the air. What's your name, age, where are you calling from?
Hi, Dave. This is What's going on in your dating life? Where do you need help?
Hang on, I gotta put you on mute because you have to mute the video. I can hear the video.
Yes, I did. Hi, this is Jeevan. I'm from Alabama. I'm 29. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. What's your name?
Jeevan.
Devin?
Yeah.
Cool, man. What's your question?
So I've been talking to a girl for almost 2 months now. I yesterday went on a date with her. Like, we planned for like 3 times because of like some other reasons. It got canceled and then we scheduled. Like, I went yesterday and like I honestly thought it's going to be very weird because we've been talking a lot, and I don't know like what we are going. But it did ended up well. We both had like a great time. I used all your techniques, and then I we had like eye contact like all the time, and like so it was like just both of us in the bar. Like we didn't even care like if anyone is looking at us, and then we rescheduled for next time. So in the beginning we used to chat a lot, but now like it's I think like the attraction is going down. So is there any tips
How
so
many
that
how
like I
many
can
dates
get
have you how many dates have you been on?
if only one?
Only one. So what do you mean attraction is going down? Are you saying that you've been texting her a lot?
I mean, like, she's being honest and she's being like responsive. Like when I ask her, like, do you want to meet next time? She's like, yeah, I'm up for it. But like, she's busy. I know that. Like, is there any way so that like I can increase something?
So she has not agreed yet to a second. Have you asked her on a second date?
She did. She did agree.
So she did. So you have something set. You have something planned.
Uh huh.
When is it?
I mean, like, she agreed to meet next time, but we haven't planned it. Like, maybe it's going to be this
You
weekend or next
got you
weekend.
got to plan it, my friend. You can't wait around. You got to plan it. There's an old
Okay.
saying, Devin. It goes like this: nothing is until it is. So you you don't have a second date planned. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. So even though she agreed to see you again, nothing's really happened. And even then, even if it is planned, nothing is until it is, meaning she has to show up and you guys have to have an actual second date. So what I would do is I would text her right now
Mm-hmm.
and set up that
Mm-hmm.
date. Say, when are you free next? And then invite her
Okay.
to do something. What did you do on the first date?
I mean, we went to a bar and then like we had this chat. That's what we did.
Okay, so go to dinner. Find a decent spot for
Okay.
dinner, nothing too fancy, but good.
Mm-hmm.
And and so text her. We get your phone out. Let's text her right now. Can we do that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am doing it.
Okay, okay. And then what's your name in the chat?
Jeevan,
Devon.
it's J.
Oh, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay. So text her this. Say, hey, when's your next free night? Let's grab some dinner. Just say that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. If she responds in the next 28 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to write it in the chat,
I will.
and
Thank you, man.
we'll continue to help you as long as I'm here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you.
There you go. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, nothing is until it is. It's funny, guys always say, they call and they're like, oh, I think I'm losing attraction. And I'm like, how do you know you're losing attraction? Like, how would you know that? And they think that because they're basing it off of the text messages that are going on. She's not responding that fast. We're not talking as much over text. None of that matters. What matters is meeting up with her. What's up? You are on the air. What's your name, age, where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Josie. I'm 19. I'm calling from Canada.
What's up, man?
Hi.
What's your question?
So basically, I just been, I haven't really been going on many dates just because I find myself more like, I guess, introverted and just like really just interested in putting any effort into the whole like going and meeting people. But like when I was younger, probably grade 8, grade 9, I just really like had this crush on this girl for the longest time. But what happened is she ended up moving away, and then I graduated at my own school, and she graduated from her old school. Like she moved about 4 hours away. But then recently, I just been like really thinking about her and stuff, and like I just really like this girl, and I'm just wondering, like, I don't know if she possibly has a boyfriend, or I don't think she does, but she possibly, like, she did a year ago, so I don't know where she stands. And basically my question is, like, how should I get in touch with her? And like my thinking was, I didn't want to get in touch with her like before, just because the distance, because like
Let me ask you this: why are you so certain that this girl is so much better than all other girls out there?
I don't think it's that. I think it's just like I just want to have some kind of closure, or like I just really like this. Like her personality is amazing. It's not even like her looks as much. It's just because her personality is just incredible. And
so you're saying that her personality, there's no other woman out there that can match her personality. It's that good.
Well,
it's
I'm not
good.
sure. I'm not sure. I haven't met any woman like that. No.
Exactly. This is my point. Because you're probably not. Well, this is your words, right? You have not been meeting women. You haven't been doing that.
Well, yeah. Well, like I've been meeting women, but I haven't really like put any effort into going on dates. I guess you could say, just because I'm not interested as much. Like
this is. So I guess this is a setup for disaster.
Right.
Right away, when I hear that a guy is strategizing to go for one girl, you're setting yourself up for massive failure.
Yeah.
The odds are it's not going to work out with this person. The odds are I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being realistic. The odds are it's not going to. So the time and energy and strategizing that you're going to be putting into this girl, where it's probably not going to work out. I'm not saying again, because I'm not putting this on you. I'm just saying that just naturally this stuff doesn't work out, especially when you're like, when's the last time you talked to this girl?
It's been about 2 years, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you're just really working uphill. Really working uphill.
I moved a lot closer, so now we're like maybe an hour away. So it's like I could get in touch with her.
Yeah, and then you're an hour away. It's like nothing's good about this.
Right.
Take my advice, man. You're 19. You in college?
I'm going back to college next year. I'm currently working though.
You're working right now. Keep working. You got college coming up. You can do some approaches, meet some other women, so you can prove to yourself that there's other women out there. Okay, so I'm going to give you something that I talk about in my magnetic book, okay? So
can I just ask like one thing?
No, hang on. I want to finish my thought, and then I'll let you say something. One thing I say in my book is that it's not the girl that you're really interested in. It's the feeling that you have when you're with her. That feeling can be replicated with a lot of women. So it's just dangerous to pine after this one because you're wasting your time. What were you going to say?
I just feel like, I kind of want closure, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because like,
why do you need closure? For what? What does that what does that do for you?
Well, then I can like move on, because like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to know if
you can move on,
interested or not.
You can move on literally today, in this second.
Right.
You can move on right now. You have that power. I'm giving you the power right now. You can literally just say, you know what? She's in the past. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of other women out there. And you can move on today. You don't need the closure. That's your ego speaking. You don't actually need the closure. Because let's imagine this. Let's imagine this. I mean, let's just say she's dead. Yeah. Okay? Just pretend she's died.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Uh-oh. Can't get the closure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, I watch your videos and everything. Like, I know the whole, like, abundance mentality and stuff. Like, I understand that all. I guess I could just ask the question a bit differently, but like,
but there's no exception. There's no exception. Guys think that they're an exception because you're in that world living in it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Right.
I'm telling you. I know it's hard to understand right. I get it, man. It's hard to understand right now. It's easy for me to say I'm not in the situation you are. I totally understand. But I've been through this personally. I've been through this with clients. I've seen this before. So let my wisdom and knowledge and what I've seen fast forward all of the like BS that you have to go through. You don't need the closure, even though you feel you do. This is not someone who's, I'm sure she's a great girl. Okay. I'm sure she's a great girl, but there are other women who are still great. She lives an hour away. She's 2 years. The reason why you're feeling this way is because you're not in abundance. That's the whole thing about abundance. If you were in an abundance, if I had 100 girls who are just as amazing as her texting you right now, you wouldn't care about her.
I guess the thing is just like, I don't want to, I couldn't be bothered to put in the whole effort of the whole like meeting another girl and seeing if there's chemistry. Like, I just don't really want to go through that whole process.
Yeah, but that's a bad attitude because what would happen? Let's just say, for example, you do follow through with this girl and you text her or whatever, and she's got a boyfriend or it doesn't work out with her. Then what?
Well, then I feel like after that, then it's like, okay, well, we'll just, because I don't really be like looking for a relationship, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm kind of one of those persons that like, I don't really want to, I'm not going to do like online dating just because, I don't want it to be seen like forced as much, you know what I mean? Like, if I meet someone and like I have feelings for her, then like I'll act accordingly and then I'll ask her out and stuff, but I'm not like really actively searching or like approaching girls just because like I don't really need a relationship. It's just that I just have particular feelings for this like one girl, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you, man. I said my piece. I really just, it's, again, I'm repeating myself here. It's probably not going to work out.
Right. Okay.
So there's nothing I can tell you. Like, that's it. Like, it's.
Do you mind if I just ask one quick question? Just quick question.
Yeah, but hurry up. We got to move on to other callers. Yes. Hurry.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just say I approached this girl. Like, we'll be running into each other, whatever. Is it crucial to get like established and make sure I don't get in the friend zone like right away?
Yes.
Right.
And with every with every girl you ever talk to that you're interested in.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Thanks so much. Sure. Appreciate it, man.
Hope that helps. Take care, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, you too. Correct.
I know. I get it. It's not the answer you want to hear, but that's it, man. That's it. That's the advice. Guys, I'm telling you from a place, and all I'm saying is this. You will find out. You can, two options. This is how confident I am in this, because I've seen this over and over. You can listen to what I'm saying. Okay? Caller, just hold on a second. I'm finishing a thought. You can listen to what I'm saying. And just, at this point, move on. Or you can find out yourself. Maybe it's even best you find out yourself, because then you'll actually learn it the way that's going to hopefully, really actually teach the lesson. But all right, let's move on. You are on the air, caller. What's your name, age, where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Gerald Barnold, and I'm from like a small town here. I'm 16 years old, and I'm in high school. I'm a junior. I really like this girl, but
I gotta stop you here, buddy. I'm sorry, but I should have mentioned, which I do forget it sometimes. You can only call if you're 18 or older. So,
I see.
Yes, but listen, I have a video on my channel. It is called "How to Date Girls" or "How to Pick Up Girls in High School." If you haven't watch that video. That will give you all the information you need. Okay, so search that on my channel. And thanks for calling, man.
No problem. You really helped me in, talking to girls, having confidence and flirting. But I only have one question, but that's okay.
Good, man. Well, I'm sorry, but take care. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to call? Who wants in? Who wants in? You know where the number is? It's in the description. It's in the title. Here we go. You're on the air. What's your name, age, and where you calling from?
Yeah, well, this is Mitch. I'm calling from Michigan.
Cool, man. How old are you?
33.
All right. What is your question, my friend?
I'm calling because I listen to your content and stuff like that, read your book. So girls come around me naturally all the time. I easily get one-night stands and whatnot. But the part about finding the girls of my dreams, that seems to be pretty hard. Like in this day society, it feels like bullshit to kind of just rush in the old relationship, which, I mean, I've done before, and I was in a 3-year relationship with a girl who had kids, and I just realized I didn't want to be a stepdad. So even though 33 isn't that young, I DJ and I have my own business and stuff like that, so I don't want to do that. But the girl with dreams part seems like difficult. Like, there's girls always around me, but then just the girls that you really want is the tough part.
So what's the question?
How do you focus on finding the girls of your dreams? Like what's the best tips for, really finding someone that you can really go in a long-term relationship with?
So here's what you got to do. You got to first figure out what your 3 non-negotiables are. So the 3 things that are most important to you in a woman with someone that you want to be in a relationship with. That might take a little bit of time. Maybe you know right now off the top of your head. You got to figure out what those are. Okay?
I've seen that in your stuff before.
Okay. So you take those, and then you got to get a lot of leads. Okay? You got to get a lot of girls that you're going on dates with. So if there's a lot of girls around you, then this part seems to be easy. Awesome. Go on dates with these girls. Find out if they fulfill those. Also look for some red flags, common red flags. I did a video about this. You can check that out. So combination of make sure they don't have the red flags, make sure they have the 3 non-negotiables, and you go on a lot of dates with a lot of women to see if they have and do not have those. That's it. That's the formula.
Right. Multiple during weeks and whatnot?
Yes. It might take a little while. But hopefully not too long, because it's not the 10 non-negotiables. That's why I only have 3. If it was 10, it might take you forever. But you just have 3, so you're not too picky, but still you're not just settling with anyone. And that's it. That's it. You just got to be clear on what you want. A lot of guys aren't clear on what they want, so they don't even know if they're finding the, as you say, girl of your dreams. So you got to get clear on what you want, and then in order to know if someone has that, you got to go on dates. That's it. Are you doing that?
Right. No.
Okay. So you can start this week.
Some dates, but not like that many. Like 1 a month maybe. And I don't even call it a date. We just go hang out.
Okay.
I guess we could do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want someone that's going to be, you're looking for a relationship, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would probably not do the one-night stands, but you would, meet these girls, and I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you want to sleep with them on the first time you meet them, but then eventually you guys got to hang out and talk beyond having sex. So it has to be a combination of both, but you're not going to know if that girl is going to be a good partner in a relationship unless you know that she has the things that you're looking for. So eventually there has to be some sort of date. Make sense?
Right. Yep, totally.
Almost too simple, right?
Yeah, just a lot of time, but I guess you got to fit it in.
It is. It's a lot of time. Some people don't do it, but then they just don't have anybody, or they end up settling for someone because they don't want to put the effort in. It's definitely not easy, but you put the work in, and you find someone awesome, then it's awesome. So then it's worth it, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sound good?
All right, thanks, man.
You're welcome. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Good questions, guys, today. I wonder what he thought about that answer. Sometimes I wonder if guys are like, that's not what I wanted to hear. Some people kind of have a question and they want to hear something. They're like, that's not what I wanted to hear. They look for the answers somewhere else. I'm not saying that I'm the know-it-all and I know everything. But I know for sure that whenever I have a question and I answer someone who has experience in the area, even if it's not something I want to hear, it's good to take the advice because they know more. So it's better than just guessing. All right, you're on the air. What's your name, age, and where you're calling from?
Hey man, I'm from India and my name is Jake.
Jake from India. How old are you?
So I wanna know why am I so desperate to have a relationship?
You want to know why you're so desperate to have a relationship?
Man, I feel so lonely sometimes. I feel like I can't focus on my career, on my studies. Feel so alone, but at the same time, I feel like I need to be in a relationship. But most of them, most of my friends like do have a girl. They go out with them. They hang out a lot.
It's a little hard to hear you, but what I'm gathering from what you're saying is that it sounds like you're lonely. Your friends are in relationships, and you're not.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, yeah.
So what's your question? Why are you so desperate for a relationship?
I just feel so alone, man.
I get it. So are you doing anything to meet women?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of girls like they always friendzone me. They One of my girls said that you're not like important type. Um,
So you're getting in the friend zone a lot.
yeah,
So is your question how to avoid the friend zone?
yeah.
Do you know how to avoid I feel like you know the answer to this question.
I don't really, but just I wanna know some tips to get girls to get laid.
So here's the thing. These are great questions, but they're very broad questions. I can sit here and talk for about 1,000 hours on what you would need to do to figure out how to meet more women. But I'll give you a simple formula, okay? So if you're alone, you're getting in the friend zone a lot, what you need to do is you need to go out. You need to, like I said earlier, if people are still here listening, from what I said before, more leads, more women, more approaching. You're going to get rejected more. That's okay. It's all an experiment. You need to go out and approach more women, and you need to learn how to flirt. And you need to build your self-esteem and confidence. Again, there's all these ways to do that, which we just don't have time to go over on a live. But that's what I have all these videos for on the channel. That's what coaching is for. I have a book. Like, honestly, dude, get magnetic. You're in India, though. I don't know if you can get magnetic in India. But you can definitely get my Hooked program. Or just, if you don't have any money and can't afford it, watch the YouTube videos. You can even watch the Tripp Advice Manifesto. Like, you got to have guidelines here. So you need to start somewhere. And it's going to start with going out, talking to many girls as possible, and then learning the whole system in terms of what attraction is and what it looks like. So that's what I got for you, buddy.
So I need to know that should I focus on relationship or should I focus on my career or like study?
Well, how's your career doing? Is it doing well?
I think it's great. I'm good in my studies, but most of my friends told me that you're good alone. You know, if you're in a relationship, then you will probably screw up your studies. You'll
Well, yeah, you
and all.
definitely don't want to be focusing on relationships if your whole life is falling apart. That's for sure, but you don't want to wait too long. Sometimes it takes a long time to build a career. So I wouldn't wait until you're 40. That's just like unnecessary to wait that long. So it kind of has to be a balance, but you just have to ask yourself, like, is like my life a disaster? If your life is a disaster, you don't have any money to your name, your career is falling apart or it's not going anywhere, you're in severely bad health, like if all these areas of your life are not doing so well, probably not a good idea to start dating. You're not going to see much success because you're just going to be way too much in your head. So you got to be honest with yourself and look at everything and assess at that point, like, okay, do I have things figured out enough where I can go out and start meeting women? If the answer is no, then no, you should not be dating. You need to focus on your life.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, buddy.
It really helped me.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We have time for another caller. Yeah, if the women in the chat want to call in, you can call in. It'll be fun. I'm happy to give you some advice if you need it. I can probably still give you some thoughts on stuff, and it could be fun. So anyone is welcome to call in, unless you're under 18. Sorry, then you're not. So, who wants to be the last caller? We got 4 minutes left. We can do it. Guys, don't forget, coaching. You know where to apply if you need my personalized help. Coachedbytripp.com. You're on the air. What's your name, age, where you calling from?
Hey, Tripp. This is Jack from Florida, 22. I was just calling because I guess I wanted to see what is your best strategy in holding long-term interest?
Be more specific.
So I am seeing this girl. It's been around 2 months now, and everything's been going great. And I've been seeing her not every week, but every other week. And every time I've hung out with her, it's been great. Like, it's been such a great experience. And I'm also, like, coming from an abundance mindset, seeing other girls as well. But if I'm being honest, my interest is focused primarily on one girl. But if I were to just ask you one question, what would your formula be into holding the interest of this one girl for a long term?
Have you guys had sex?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's happening. You have a sexual relationship established.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's step one. Otherwise, you might be in the friend zone. So you got that going for you. That's good. So it would be using TED, tension, entertainment, and dominance, throughout the course of you guys dating. So keeping the sexual tension going, that's T. Entertainment, continuously having fun in the relationship, things that are fun for you, making it so you're enjoying yourself. D, dominance, you're leading the interactions. You're the one who's, of course, she's going to be doing it too when you guys are dating. She'll be coming up with dates and things for you guys to do, but you should be taking the lead a lot of the time. And variety. Okay? So variety. So you want variety in the dating process. Be doing different things, learning about each other in different ways, but also combined with mystery. If you tell her every single thing about yourself, it's not going to leave much room for her to want to get to know you more. So at that point, you could potentially kill the desire. So you don't want to see her too much, and you don't want to tell her every little detail about your life and your past. So try to only see her maybe once a week, twice at the most. The things you guys do, make sure
Okay,
there's variety, continuously having sex and making sure that the sex is good and that it's good for her. And then Ted.
Okay, so I think I'm doing all of that. What would be like a safe like estimate in your opinion of like how long this should last before it becomes questionable? If you understand where.
Questionable how?
I do know that you, as the male, you would never want to bring up the relationship. You would want it to be an idea in her head, correct?
Where did you get that from?
I would say various like online coaches.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk with that one. You don't necessarily have to be the one, no, to bring it up. You can let her bring it up.
Yeah, so correct. Like that's what I was saying.
Right.
So,
yeah, I'm agreeing with that.
So what would be the point to where it becomes questionable as to if this is worth the effort or not?
If you think it's worth the effort to continue seeing her?
Yes.
Like if you, are you enjoying hanging out with her? Are you enjoying spending time with her?
Yes, but it gets to the point where it almost feels like if it were to get to the point where you feel like it's kind of going nowhere and you're investing too much of your again, since it's long term, it's not like you're supposed to be actually showing too much commitment or devotion.
Eventually she's going to cave and she's going to be like, what's going on here? What are we doing? And then you'll be in a relationship.
No, of course. And I understand that. But what would be the point if that weren't to happen where you would understand, like, this is too much of, like, this is getting too weird. This is too much time. This is too much commitment. I don't
know why you're assuming it. It sounds like you're just like assuming a lot of things might happen. Like, why are you assuming it's going to get weird? Why does it even matter? As long as you guys are spending time together and things are going the way they're going, why should it matter? Because eventually, if things are getting weird, you can bring that up to her, and then she'll just end up bringing it up. Well, things are weird because, like, I don't know. Like, are we together? Are we a thing? I don't know what's going on. Then, boom, you have the conversation, and she's your girlfriend. So you kind of can't lose. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. I think you answered my question. I was just more so just questioning what would be an ideal time frame for when the guy were to be like questionable as to whether she would want to question it, if I'm even wording that correctly. But I think you did answer my question.
Yeah, I think I did too. I get what you're saying. If you want it, so that's one route. Or if you want to just take the other route and ask her to be your girlfriend, you can just do that, you know. And if you want the answer of timing, 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months, okay, that's reasonable. Here's a problem for me bringing it up. I feel like you could assume bringing up like other online coaches, they say that it would just show a sense of desperation, a sense of neediness, or rushing into commitment for a guy to want to bring that question up.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm still thinking about this one. I'm still thinking about that concept because I've been in relationships where I have asked women, and it didn't hurt it.
It didn't hurt it.
No, but then again, I can see where if you just let her do it, she could become more attracted to you. If you just kind of don't.
No, yeah.
Bring it up.
And if you don't mind, I have like a good follow-up question.
Okay, hurry though, because we're running out of time, and I have a coaching call that I'm 5 minutes late to. So you are holding someone who has invested themselves in. I'm just teasing you. I mean, I really do have a coaching call, but what's your question?
Okay, so my follow-up question would be, in terms of mystery, correct? You would want to give time and space to really let that attraction grow. So what would your advice be if she doesn't give you that space and would want to always be in contact with you. And obviously,
You
I
just
have
don't
my
do
own
it. You stay
issues.
strong. You stay strong, and you don't do it.
No, yeah, I just say that I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just, it gets to the point where, yeah.
See,
But yeah, I think
you're
that's
asking
all.
that because you're in fear, because you're afraid that if you do that, then she'll leave. But she's not going to leave.
No. Yeah, I'm staying committed to it. I'm not like budging it. I'm just like, it gets to the point where it's almost rude, but whatever. Like, I don't care.
It's not rude. You're busy. You're a busy guy. If she can handle that, then goodbye. Honestly, you know, you don't need to be hanging out all the time and texting all the time. So
I agree with you 100%.
thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Of course, you have a good one.
Bye-bye. All right. Guys, I do have a coaching call right now. So I got to go. Thank you for being here. If you want coaching and you want to be talking to me on the phone and figuring out your dating life and getting on the path to meeting more women, having an active dating life, go to coachedbytripp.com. The link is in the description and you can apply and I will read it. I read every single application that comes through. And yes, there are a lot, but I still read them because I want to help as many of you guys as possible if it's a good fit. So apply today. We will talk. Guys, I will be live next Monday, 7:30 p.m. next Monday on November 25th. So join me, 7:30. We'll go live again. It will be awesome. That's it. I got to go. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Peace.